55 points in the first quarter, 44 for the rest of the game. I know it feels a little bit repetitive, but what did you see offensively tonight?
We're in a 2-point game, middle of the third quarter, and same in the Cairns game. We're 14 up at that point, and you can just see when we just run out of juice, and it's partly on me. I haven't trusted the bench enough, and I haven't got enough production off the bench to keep moving people and keep people fresh enough, and I'm asking people to play 32, 33 minutes, and I can see the drop off. And I wanted to use timeouts strategically tonight to make sure that we could do that. We backed off, who we are defensively a lot to pick up people at halfway and not pressure up the floor and try and take some load out of people. And but once we got to that point where multiple people are tired on the floor, all our execution goes out the window. Our brain stopped functioning. Even messages in timeouts or messages of free throws about what we wanted to get done, it couldn't happen. And it's disappointing that when we get to that tide, we don't have still the ability to go and execute.
The fast break points are 17-0, and I don't know whether that points to what you're talking about, whether it's fatigue with potentially transition defense, or what did you see there? Because that's a pretty rare number.
Rare for us to have 0, absolutely. And I thought, it was one of the things I complimented our team on the Cairns game to say, we had 17 possessions at fast break. Tonight I'm sure we'll go back and not have too many. And the ones that we did have, we overpassed it and didn't finish plays as well. But certainly there was a mentality for us tonight after coming off that last game to say how we use each other in the ball movement. It needed to get from side to side, but we still talked about the first 8 seconds and could we create easy opportunities in that. And as soon again fatigue, I thought it was more about catching an outlet and walking it up rather than trying to find something early.
Just with Isaac, really good start again, and the ball's getting through him, and then it's been a few times where the fouls have really taken him out of the game, and he appears frustrated by it. Everyone's probably frustrated by it. What did you see with him tonight, and how do you try and work on the foul stuff? I know it's not an uncommon problem.
Yeah, I thought obviously that first quarter and the way we started the game was really pleasing. Just as especially the connection between X and Ice. I think he has 4 assists, and they're all to dump off passes, and we felt we'd been missing a bunch of those recently, so that was really positive, for a period of time. And then I thought as the game wore along, they clogged the paint even more and more and just absolutely dared, different people to shoot threes and have 4 in the paint a number of times, and so certainly closed down his opportunities to get buckets off those passes. On the fouling situation, we'd need him on the floor. We were hoping to get kind of 28 minutes out of him tonight, which is a huge load for him as well. But Dave Barlow, the last 2 games, has had absolutely inflamed elbow, and probably really shouldn't have tried to play today. But that's the guy that he is, and he's been on everything to try and get the swelling down just to play. And so pleased that we were able to get 10 minutes out of him tonight, to certainly when we've got foul trouble as well. So it's one of those ones. I was sitting there before the game, I was like, we've lost 2 point guards, we've lost our backup 4-man, we're missing our centre. We just and we quite haven't grown our bench enough to really compete with these good teams right now. And so I know we'll get 1 point guard back next week with I'm sure Lockie Barker will be ready to play, and that'll really help. That'll allow me to, when mistakes are happening or when people are tired, that we've got another guy that can really handle the ball and organise, and pushing Tuck to do that. It's not what we brought him here for. We didn't bring him here to be our backup point guard. And but I thought he probably played one of his best games tonight. I thought he had a good balance between attacking and not settling for threes. They wanted to give him threes the last game, and there was a good balance with his offensive movement tonight.
I know we asked you a bunch of questions about this a couple of weeks ago, and you've been really open about the roster situation. Yeah, you'll get some guys back from a health perspective, but you've spoken about the bench and the trust. Are you convinced or thinking that you do need to change something with this roster at this point?
Yeah. I've been open. We're searching for a guy. So, yeah, we haven't found the right guy yet.
And it's you positionally, with Ariel out, it's probably going to be more a big.
Yeah, definitely. D Savs, he was one of our shining lights tonight to step in and play 4 and 5 and to guard one of the best players in the league in Cooksey, and I thought he made some of his shots difficult and real growth from him. But yeah, getting Mason Peatling back as well is going to be really important. But yeah, I still think the games that we've won the boards, we've won the game kind of thing, and we just haven't been able to compete in that area or have another threat. Certainly running at the rim and finishing. I thought the shots JC had tonight was like, we were talking in the locker room, it's like, wow, if Jack White had every one of those kind of catches where he caught it and those takes at the rim and just we were able to finish it, there were 11 kind of good shots. But he just hasn't been able to finish some of those over the length of people in this league.
Dave, I know the wins or the result isn't what you guys want, but for you, really your first sort of season playing on a nightly basis and playing a real role for this team, how have you found it personally, settling into the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Like, it's really exciting that I get to play. I mean, it's been a while. I'm just happy I can showcase, and Dino trusts me out on the floor. Like, today I played 21 minutes, so I'm just happy I can showcase what I can do and just help provide the team with what they need. And I know my role, so just playing is really exciting and fun.
Dean, Rajon ended a bit awkwardly with about 4 or 5 minutes to go. Is he all good?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from the medical staff about him yet. Yep.
No one else?
Yeah, Barlow obviously was the one, and hopefully we've got a few days before our next game. Hopefully that can kind of really settle down and he can get some good practice in and then get better for the next one.
Coach, there was a point at the end of the third quarter, I think, where X brought up the floor and sort of wasn't able to get into a set early. I think he hit maybe 12 on the shot clock, and you quickly turned and I think put Rajon up to put him in. What kind of messages are you sending to X, and do you think he's receiving as far as getting to that offense as quickly as possible and advancing the ball early and things like that?
Yeah, it was. I love the changes that we were able to make early in the game to say that this is what we didn't see in the last game. His ability to make that extra pass and yeah, again, as the game went along, there were still some mismatches that I thought he didn't quite see as well. So yeah, just really opening his eyes up to the whole thing. And I think it should be a great growth for him. Those moments at the end, he was tired and he didn't push the basketball where we wanted to, and I thought he needed to just get extra spacing to let the basketball move, where he just kind of kicked it ahead and stood and wanted to come back to him to get to a ball screen. It's not at that time of the game, it's not what we wanted. We wanted to see more movement, more players involved. So we brought him here for the purpose of really having an impact on the game, and Shaylee as our point guard and him coming in and having a really good impact in obviously shorter minutes, and I think he's got the absolute ability to do that. He's shown that throughout the year that he can have a great impact at both ends of the floor.
I hate to keep being repetitive with it, but is there any update on when Shay's back? You mentioned Lockie Barker's coming back next week. Any update on Shay?
Yeah, he's got through a great session yesterday and just had a mild symptom after it, and so we didn't work him out again today, but wasn't something that's too concerning. So I think he's going to be, we've got tomorrow off, and I think we're going to be pretty close to starting to see him in some form of contact during this week, and if he gets through that, there's a possible opportunity to play the next game. Yeah, I hope so. It's been 7 weeks or so, so it's been a long time, and but it's something you just can't mess with, right? And so you can take whatever scans and everything, but it's so much symptom based with him, and just how he couldn't deal with light there for a while, and we had him practicing in different venues and stuff, and by himself, and now he's got back, and he was on the scout team for yesterday, and obviously no contact, but he was on the floor, so really good progress. And so again, if there's any concern from medical staff that he's not ready, we'll hold him out, but I hope that he's ready for next game.
Obviously you're not happy with the 2 losses this round, but in terms of a positive that you can take out of these 2 games, do you feel like you've kind of unlocked what Rajon Tucker can be for this team, notwithstanding the fact that you've had to probably play him a bit more of the backup one than you would have liked, but in terms of where he can attack and how he's starting to become effective offensively, are you pretty happy with where he's at now?
Yeah, as a comfort level, obviously the best thing he does is to get out and attack the rim in transition. So, it was part of what we just didn't get to tonight, and probably wasn't. I thought it was a good emphasis for me to say we really did want to play at the pace that we did against Cairns, but again they shot a fair few free throws, and there's a lot of stoppages there, and our inability to defend the paint tonight, with the ball screen, there was just so many lobs, and you say we might have guarded the 3-point line all right, but it was the easy points that they got in our positioning in the ball screen tonight, and I'm not saying he was a factor in that, but that was what they shoot at nearly 70% in the paint, and the extra passes that they made, and that's on everyone to make drop downs, and our hand pressure and how we do that, but good on them for the things that they did offensively.
Next week you go to Wollongong on Saturday before coming home again. Is that a good thing for this team right now to get out on the road again and maybe come together after these tough home losses?
Yeah, always good, I think. We got to be the best second half team in the league right now, and then we just got to get to this FIBA window, be as close to 500 as we can if possible, and get some reinforcements, and then we can actually see what this group is capable of, because we've seen it for short periods of time, but we're not able to maintain our disciplines for the full 40 minutes right now, and we're missing 15 minutes, which is a lot. So it'll be fun to get some bodies back in there.